So ever since I went to university, things has opened my eyes. I definitely need to be careful with certain topics that I need to talk about since I'm a fella. But this topic that I'm going to talk about does it's a bit controversial, but I understand where my prediction of understanding where is this leading to, right? So this topic it is talking about gender, a bit of gender politics, and as well as predicting. Okay, so as you know, for those who's in the Western world, or they're already been through, especially I'm only speaking in Australia, there's a reason huge push towards the females to get in the government roles, right? And more, it's drawing a lot more attention on getting the government roles, and especially within the workforce, within the police, military, trades. What was the other one? Train, tram drivers, fire brigader, that sort of industry, which is not highly as STEM degree, but is male dominant. Research has shown that women who complete STEM degrees is 20%, which is fairly low comparison to the males, as now government wants to introduce a lot more lenient, not only just the female but also the LGBT to get in, not being discriminated, just advocate integrated the possible as they can for them to get in that sort of roles. All right, so in my thinking, if I didn't analyze or predicting this whole thing, it would have said, oh, I would have followed what the right wing would talk about. This is sexist, this is bias, it's only woman only hirement instead of male. And yes, it's a patriarchal. It does control the job market to be fit for the right candidate for the job. Now they're trying to reduce the guideline restrictions, so empower women to encourage them to apply for those roles. In my mind, I'm thinking about, wow, this is just, this is the time that we guys have to sit back and see, male's job will be shrinking. But as I looked even deeper, even though the media doesn't talk about it, is the technology is getting a lot more advanced, right? So this phone to you guys is classified as a dinosaur phone. Nobody used BlackBerry and a touch keypad. And why would you use a small screen, that's the size of my palm? So people who have bigger phones, technology is getting better. Like the first iPhone when it came out from 2006, something around there, to 2018. Look at the phones nowadays. It's so advanced, so incredible, so powerful, and it keeps getting better and better. It's like the moment when the space astronaut went up to the land on the moon in the 1960s or 70s. I don't know the date, but you guys already know more than me. And the technology, and they have the live stream, how they just pretty much just place the flagman on the moon, saying the American flag, and their feet like shoe prints, footprints, and it's just incredible how technology, where it's leading, and it's getting a lot more advanced. If we can get to that stage in the 1970s, could you imagine how much the technology has been delayed? Because that is pretty advancement. So I believe in technology. Everyone's just hyping up and talking about the AI technology, robots. It's going to replace a lot of industry, and that is my prediction, because most of the females who in the workforce are in the service industry or in the low wages. Now that consider as one of the most endangered jobs area, because that is very easy to be replaced with the job market. With the robots and the AIs and everything. Like the biggest hit will be towards the female gender. It does hit the male, but not as hard as what the females, because they're in that the job sector, and it's be easy because the robots, they can do simplify stuff. They can think about simplify and repeat the same stuff. Retail, hospitality, parts of the social security industry as well, which largely nursing. I know Japan, they try to replace robots for nurses to look after or carry patients. But if you add advancement of AI towards that robot, phew, it can do anything pretty much. As you can tell, a lot of car manufacturers, they do repetitive stuff using robots to build completion of a car. So what I'm trying to say to you, it will get there. We're just a couple of steps away, but I think the government wants to promote it now to make them to get in, even though they can't. If they can't do STEM degrees, they'll try to loosen the guideline and everything. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's the patriarchal, they are controlling everything, you have no right to say this, you're sexist, you're biased, will. And that's not my intention. My intention is saying, like, the government is promoting this sort of stuff is to prepare you guys to at least get in that sort of industry, because they know the fact that that sort of industry won't get wiped out as heavily towards the industry where it is, like in the nursing and other retail sector. So they wanted to promote that, so for them to get in, because if the day do comes, they want them to integrate it with the AI technology robot world, where guys who does their STEM degree will most likely to adapt in that sort of area, which they highly do need in that area. So that's my talks, my prediction and breakdown in that area. Okay, so it's understandable, but I don't think the world, many people who understand of the concept why the government is doing this.